fact, I don't think I've ever spoken to this many Jewish youth. I actually never realized that the story of the burning bush was such a hot topic. Well, good evening. Buenas noches. Shalom, dear friends. I am honored to be with you on this festive evening. Shalom, queridos amigos. Es un honor poder estar con ustedes esta noche. I am Ncyc. I was born and raised in the Republic of Panama, where I attended Panameños, Centroamericanos, Latinos, Gringos, well, in Panama, I attended a Catholic elementary school. I used to win the catechism medal every year. And now, I am a rabbi. See what a Catholic education can do for you. So your theme this evening is I am. In Hebrew, Eheye. Say that after me. Eheye. This is the word with which God self-identifies to Moses at the burning bush. You've heard the story from the Torah, the Hebrew scriptures, in the book of Exodus, chapter 3. May I have the first slide, please? Moses is in the desert, tending to the flock of sheep, and his attention is drawn to a remarkable sight of a bush that burned but was not consumed. The picture that you see is the cover of the Holy Ark at Congregation Beth El Ncyc synagogue where I'm Rabbi Emeritus. It's a tapestry, and it's amazing to me how similar this depiction is to the symbol of your conference. A voice calls to Moses out of the bush and says, "Moses, Moses." And he responds, "Hineni, here I am." The same response that Abraham had given to God's call generations before. And the voice tells Moses that the place, the moment at which he stands, is holy. And he is commanded, "Go now to Pharaoh and proclaim to him to free the Israelite slaves." Next slide, please. Moses is astonished. He hesitates and he doubts himself. Who am I that I should be able to do this? But the voice from the burning bush assures him, Eheye. This is Eheye in Hebrew. This is how it's written in the original Hebrew in the Torah. Moses asks to know the name of his God that is sending him on such a mission. And the voice then proclaims, next slide, Eheye asher eheye. Say that with me. Eheye asher eheye. That means I am who I am. So I am is an important theme in Catholic faith. I have been invited to share with you some reflections from the Hebrew Scriptures and Jewish tradition. The first lesson is grammatical. May I see the next slide, please? The term Ehyeh comes from the same root as the name of the God of Israel in the Bible. In Hebrew, the letters are Yud, He, Vav, He. And closest pronunciation that we could attain is Yahweh. It is often mispronounced as Jehovah. Now, Jewish tradition considers this name too sacred to be pronounced at all. So instead, some people, when they come to this term, simply say Hashem, which means the name, or in prayer we say Adonai, my Lord. And some of you may be familiar with the Latin Dominus or the Greek Kyrios. Now the important thing is, going back to Ehyeh, Asher Ehyeh, that this is not a static, I am who I am, but a dynamic, I will be who I will be. Ehyeh is not a definition of God's essence, but a confirmation of God's presence in our lives. Ehyeh does not give us information about God, but the assurance of God being with us. God is the faithful companion. Ehyeh, further, is not a noun. It is a verb. It is not a fixed, unmoved entity, but a presence and a process. It embraces past, present, and future. God who is, God who was, God who shall ever be. Now, God's revelation to Moses invites us to consider our own I amness. How does each of us witness to the godly in our lives, in the world, and with the people around us? You know, God had said to Moses at the burning bush, "You are standing on sacred ground." May I see the next slide, please? Number 5. This is a sacred spot. This is the Holy Ark at Congregation Ncyc, where we keep the scrolls of the Torah, the 5 books of Moses. To the right, you find a scroll opened to chapter 3 of the book of Exodus. Anybody want to come up and read it for us? Okay. So, this place is sacred, but so are many places: churches, mosques, temples, shrines in our nation and around the world that speak to godly values. The question to us is, how do we make the everyday places of our lives, our homes, our schools, the moments, the relationships in our lives sacred? How do we make this very place, this time, a sacred moment that we will carry with us when we leave to help transform our lives and the lives of others? The voice that spoke to Moses from the burning bush is never exhausted. We can still hear it if we only pay attention, if we take the time and make the effort to turn around and to take notice. The God who sees, who hears, who feels, and liberates is the one who enables us